Class 11, Chapter 19, Chemical Coordination and Integration. You have already learned that the neural system provide a point-to-point rapid coordination among organs. The neural coordination is fast but short-lived, as the nerve fibers do not innervate all cells of the body and the cellular functions need to be continuously regulated. A special kind of coordination and integration has to be provided. This function is carried out by hormones. The neural system and endocrine system jointly coordinate and regulate the physiological functions in the body. Endocrine glands and hormones. Endocrine glands like ducts are hence called ductless gland and their secretion are called hormones. The classical definition of hormones as a chemical produced by the endocrine glands and released into the body and transported to a distantly located targeted organs has current scientific definition as follows. Hormones are non-nutrient chemicals which act as intercellular messengers and are produced in trace amounts. The new definition covers a number of new molecules in addition to the hormones secreted by the organized endocrine glands. Invertebrates possess very simple endocrine system with few hormones, whereas a large number of chemicals act as hormones and provide coordination in the vertebrates. The human endocrine system is described here. Human endocrine system. The endocrine glands and hormones producing diffused tissue cells located in different parts of our body constitute the endocrine system. Pituitary, pineal, thyroid, adrenal, pancreas, parathyroid, thymus, and gonads, testes in males and ovary in females, are the organized endocrine bodies in our body. In addition to this, some other organs, gastrointestinal tract, liver, kidney, heart, also produce hormone. A brief account of structure and function of all major endocrine glands and hypothalamus of the human body is given in the following section. The hypothalamus. As you know, the hypothalamus is the basal part of the diencephalon forebrain and it regulates a wide spectrum of body function. It contains several groups of neurosecretory cells which called nuclei which produce hormones. These hormones regulate the synthesis and secretion of pituitary hormones. However, the hormones produced by the hypothalamus are of two types. The releasing hormones which stimulate secretion of pituitary and the inhibiting hormones which inhibit secretion of pituitary hormones. For example, a hypothalamic hormone called gonadotropin releasing hormone GnRH stimulates the pituitary synthesis and release of gonadotropins. On the other hand, somatostatin from the hypothalamus inhibit the release of growth hormones from the pituitary. These hormones originating in hypothalamic neurons pass through the axon and are released from their nerve ending. These hormones reach the pituitary glands through a portal circulatory system and regulate the functions of the anterior pituitary. The posterior pituitary is under the direct neural regulation of the hypothalamus. The pituitary gland. The pituitary gland is located in a bony cavity called sella tristica and is attached to the hypothalamus by a stalk. It is divided anatomically into adenohypophysis and neurohypophysis. Adenohypophysis consists of two portions, pars distalis and pars intermedia. The pars distalis region of pituitary, commonly called anterior pituitary, produce growth hormone, prolactin, thyroid stimulating hormone, adrenocorticotropic hormone, luteinizing hormone, and follicle stimulating hormone. Pars intermedia secretes only one hormone called melanocyte stimulating hormone. However, in humans, the pars media is almost merged with the pars distalis. Neurohypophysis, pars nervosa, is also known as posterior pituitary, store and release two hormones called oxytocin and vasopressin, which are actually synthesized by the hypothalamus and are transported axonally to neurohypophysis. Oversecretion of growth hormone stimulates abnormal growth of the body, leading to the gigantism, and low secretion of growth hormone results in stunted growth, resulting in pituitary dwarfism. Excess secretion of growth hormone in adults, especially in middle age, can result in severe disfigurement, especially of the face, called acromegaly, which may lead to the serious complication and premature death if unchecked. The disease is hard to diagnose in the early stage of often goes undetected for many years until changes in external feature become noticeable. Prolactin regulates the growth of the mammary gland and formation of the milk in them. Thyroid stimulating hormone stimulates the synthesis and secretion of thyroid hormone from the thyroid gland. ACTH stimulates the synthesis of secretion of steroid hormones called glucocorticoids from the adrenal cortex. Luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone stimulates gonadal activity and hence are called gonadotropins. In males, LH stimulates the synthesis of secretion and synthesis and secretion of hormones called androgen from testes. In males, FSH and androgen regulate spermatogenesis. In female, LH induces ovulation of fully mature follicles, Graafian follicles, and maintains the corpus luteum formed from the remnants of the Graafian follicles after ovulation. FSH stimulates growth and development of the ovarian follicle in females. MSH acts as a melanocytes, melanin containing cells, and regulates pigmentation of the skin. Oxytocin acts on the smooth muscles of our body and stimulates their contraction. In females, it stimulates a vigorous contraction of uterus at the time of childbirth and milk ejection from the mammary gland. Vasopressin acts mainly at the kidney and stimulates reabsorption of the water and electrolytes by the distal tubule and thereby reduce loss of water through urine diuresis, and hence it is also called antidiuretic hormone. An impairment affecting synthesis or releasing of ADH results in a diminished ability of the kidney to conserve water, leading to water loss and dehydration. This condition is known as diabetes insipidus. The pineal gland. The pineal gland is located on the dorsal side of the forebrain. Pineal secretes a hormone called melatonin. Melatonin plays a very important role in regulation of 24 hours rhythm of our body. For example, it helps in maintaining the normal rhythm of sleep-wake cycle, body posture. In addition, melatonin also influences metabolism, pigmentation, the menstrual cycle, as well as our defense capability. Thyroid gland. The thyroid gland is composed of two lobes which are located on either side of the trachea. Both the lobes are interconnected with a thin flap of connective tissue called isthmus. The thyroid gland is composed of follicles and stromal tissue. Each thyroid follicle is composed of follicular cells enclosing a cavity. These follicular cells synthesize two hormones, tetraiodothyroid and thyroxine T4 and triiodothyronin T3. Iodine is essential for the normal rate of hormone synthesis in the thyroid. Deficiency of iodine in our diet results in hypothyroidism and enlargement of the thyroid gland, commonly called guittry. And hypothyroidism during pregnancy causes defective development and maturation of the growing baby, leading to the stunted growth. Cretinism. Mental retardation, low intelligence quotient, low IQ, abnormal skin, deaf mutism, etc. etc. In adult women, hypothyroidism may cause menstrual cycles to become irregular due to the cancer of the thyroid gland or due to the development of the nodules of the thyroid glands. The rate of the synthesis and secretion of the thyroid hormones is increased to abnormal high level, leading to a condition called hyperthyroidism, which adversely affects the body physiology. Exophthalmic guittry is a form of hyperthyroidism characterized by the enlargement of the thyroid gland, protrusion of the eyeballs, increased basal metabolic rate, and weight loss, also called Graves' disease. Thyroid hormones play an important role in the regulation of the basal metabolic rate. These hormones also support the process of red blood cells formation. Thyroid hormones control the metabolism of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Maintenance of water and electrolyte balance is also influenced by the thyroid hormones. Thyroid gland also secrete a protein hormone called thyrocalcitonin, which regulates the body calcium level. Parathyroid gland. In human, 4 parathyroid glands are present on the back side of the thyroid gland, one pair each in the two lobes of the thyroid gland. The parathyroid gland secretes a peptide hormones called parathyroid hormones. The secretion of parathyroid hormones is regulated by the circulating level of calcium ion. Parathyroid hormone increase the calcium ions level in the blood. Parathyroid hormone act on the bones and stimulates the process of bone reabsorption, dissolution, demineralization. PTH also stimulates reabsorption of calcium ion by the renal tubules and increase calcium ion absorption from the digestive food. It is thus clear that parathyroid hormone is a hypercalcemic hormone, that is, it increases the blood calcium level. Along with the TCT, it plays a significant role in calcium balance in the body. Thymus. The thymus gland is a lobular structure located between the lungs behind the sternum on the ventral side of the aorta. The thymus play a major role in the development of the immune system. This gland secretes the peptides hormones called thymocynes. Thymocynes play a major role in the differentiation of the T lymphocytes, which provide cell-mediated immunity. In addition, thymocynes also promote production of antibodies to provide humoral immunity. Thymus is degenerated in old individuals, resulting in a decreased production of thymocynes. As a result, the immune responses of old person become weak. Adrenal gland. Our body has one pair of adrenal glands, one that at the anterior part of each kidney. The gland is composed of two types of tissue. The centrally located tissue is called adrenal medulla, and outside this lies at the adrenal cortex. Underproduction of hormones by the adrenal cortex alter the carbohydrate metabolism, causing acute weakness and fatigue, leading to a disease called Addison's disease. The adrenal medulla secretes two hormones called adrenaline or epinephrine and noradrenaline or norepinephrine. These are commonly called as catecholamines. Adrenaline and noradrenaline are rapidly secreted in response to stress of any kind and during emergency situation, and are called emergency hormone or hormones of fight or flight. These hormones increase alertness, pupillary dilation, piloerection, raising of hairs, sweating, etc. etc. Both the hormones increase the heartbeat and strength of the heart contraction and rate of respiration. Catecholamines also stimulate the breakdown of glycogen, resulting in an increased concentration of glucose in blood. In addition, they also stimulate the breakdown of lipids and proteins. The adrenal cortex can be divided into three layers called zona reticularis, inner layer, zona fasciculata, middle layer, and zona glomerulus, outer layer. The adrenal cortex secretes many hormones, commonly called as corticoids. The corticoids which are involved in the carbohydrate metabolism are called glucocorticoids. In our body, cortisol is the main glucocorticoid. Corticoids which regulate the balance of water and electrolytes in our body are called mineralocorticoids. Aldosterone is the main mineralocorticoid in our body. Glucocorticoid stimulates gluconeogenesis, lipolysis, and proteolysis, and inhibits cellular uptake and utilization of the amino acid. Cortisol is also involved in maintaining the cardiovascular system as well as the kidney functions. Glucocorticoids, particularly cortisol, produces anti-inflammatory reaction and suppresses the immune response. Cortisol stimulates the RBC production. Aldosterone acts mainly at the renal tubules and stimulates the reabsorption of sodium ion and water and excretion of potassium ion and phosphate ion. Thus, aldosterone helps in the maintenance of the electrolytes, body fluid volume, osmotic pressure, and blood pressure. A small amount of androgenic steroids are also secreted by the adrenal cortex, which play an important role in the growth of axial hair, pubic hair, and facial hair during puberty. Pancreas. Pancreas is composite gland which act as a both exocrine and endocrine gland. The endocrine pancreas consists of islet of Langerhans. There are about 1 to 2 million islet of Langerhans in a normal human pancreas, representing only 1 to 2% of the pancreatic tissue. The two main types of cells in the islet of Langerhans are called alpha cells and beta cells. The alpha cell secretes a hormone called glucagon, and while the beta cell of the cell secretes insulin. Glucagon is a peptide hormone and play an important role in maintaining the normal blood glucose level. Glucagon acts mainly on liver cells, hepatocysts, and stimulates glycogenolysis, resulting in an increased blood sugar, hyperglycemia. In addition, this hormone stimulates the process of gluconeogenesis, which also contributes to hyperglycemia. Glucagon reduces the cellular glucose uptake and utilization. Thus, glucagon is a hyperglycemic hormone. Insulin is a peptide hormone which play a major role in the regulation of glucose homeostasis. Insulin acts mainly on the hepatocytes and adipocytes cells of adipose tissue and enhance the cellular glucose uptake and utilization. As a result, there is a rapid movement of glucose from blood to hepatocytes and hepatocytes and adipocytes, resulting in decreased blood glucose level, hypoglycemia. Insulin also stimulates conversion of glucose to glycogen. Glycogenesis is in the target cell. The glucose homeostasis in blood is thus maintained jointly by the two insulin and glucagons. Prolonged hyperglycemia leads to a complex disorder called diabetes mellitus, which is associated with loss of glucose through urine and formation of harmful compounds known as ketone bodies. Diabetic patients are successfully treated with insulin therapy. Testes. A pair of testes is present in the scrotal sac outside abdomen of male individuals. These testes perform dual function as a primary sex organ as well as the endocrine gland. Testis is composed of seminiferous tubule or stromal or intestinal tissue. The leading cell or intestinal cells which are present in the intertubular space produce a group of hormones called androgens, mainly testosterone. Androgens regulate the development of maturation and function of the male accessory sex organs like epididymis, vas deferens, seminal vesicles, prostate gland, urethra, etc. These hormones stimulate muscular growth of facial and axillary hair, aggressiveness, low pitch of the voice, etc. Androgens play a major stimulatory role in the process of spermatogenesis, formation of spermatozoa. Androgens act on the central neural system and influence the male's sexual behavior, libido. These hormones produce anabolic synthetic effects on the protein and carbohydrate metabolism. Now the ovary. Females have a pair of ovaries located in the abdomen. Ovary in the primary female sex organ which reproduce an ovum during each menstrual cycle. In addition, ovary also produce two groups of steroid hormone called estrogen and progesterone. The ovary is composed of ovarian follicle and stromal tissue. The estrogen is synthesized and secreted by growing ovarian follicles. After ovulation, the ruptured follicle is converted to a structure called corpus luteum which secretes mainly progesterone. Estrogen produce wide-ranging action such as stimulation of growth and activities of female secondary sex organ, development of growing ovarian follicles, appearance of female secondary sex character, that is high pitch of voice, etc. Mammary gland development. Estrogen also regulate female sexual behavior. Progesterone supports pregnancy. Progesterone also act on the mammary gland and stimulate the formation of alveoli, sac-like structures, store milk and milk secretion. Hormones of the heart, kidney and gastrointestinal tract. Now you know about the endocrine glands and their hormones. However, as mentioned earlier, hormones are also secreted by some tissue which are not endocrine glands. For example, the atrial wall of our heart secretes a very important peptide hormone called atrial natriuretic factor, which decreases blood pressure when blood pressure is increased. ANF is secreted which causes dilation of the blood vessels. This reduces the blood pressure. The juxtaglomerular cells of the kidney produce a peptide hormone called erythropoietin which stimulates erythropoiesis, formation of RBC. Endocrine cells present in the different parts of the gastrointestinal tract secretes four major peptide hormones, namely gastrin, secretin, cholecystokinin and gastric inhibitory peptide. Gastrin acts on the gastric gland and stimulates the secretion of hydrochloric acid and pepsinogen. Secretes acts on the exocrine pancreas and stimulates secretion of water and bicarbonate ion. Cholecystokinin acts on the both pancreas and gallbladder and stimulates the secretion of pancreatic enzymes and bile juice respectively. And GIP inhibits gastric secretion and motility. Several other non-endocrine tissue secretes hormones called growth factors. These factors are essential for normal growth of the tissue and their repairing regeneration. Mechanism of hormone action. Hormone produce their effects on target tissue by binding to a specific protein called hormone receptors located in the target tissue only. Hormone receptors present on the cell membrane of the target cells are called membrane bound receptors, and the receptors present inside the target cell are called intracellular receptors, mostly nuclear receptors present in the nucleus. Binding of the hormones to its receptor leads to the formation of hormone receptor complex. Each receptor is specific to one hormone only and hence receptors are specific. Hormones receptor complex formation leads to certain biochemical changes in the target tissue metabolism, and hence physiological functions are regulated by hormones. On the basis of their chemical nature, hormones can be divided into groups: peptide, polypeptide, protein hormones, example insulin, glucagon, pituitary hormone, hypothalamic hormone, etc. Steroid, iodothyronins, amino acid derivative, that is epinephrine. Hormones which interact with the membrane bound receptors normally do not enter the target cell but generate second messenger, cyclic AMP, IP3, calciamine, etc., which in turn regulate cellular metabolism. Hormones which interact with the intercellular receptors, steroid hormone, iodothyronin, etc., mostly regulate the gene expression or chromosome function by the interaction of hormone receptor complex with genome. cumulative biochemical action result in physiological and development effects. So these are the diagram which is easily understandable, which you can understand. So that's it. Thank you so much.